Hello, everyone. Welcome to Premier Hoops Weekly. I'm Dr. Shabazz, and today we're joined by a woman who made history, Coach Lisa Willis. Coach Lisa Willis, we appreciate you joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Okay, Coach Will, a.k.a. Coach Dub, a.k.a. Coach Ill Will. We're going to start number one. We're all trapped in. Tell us first, what are you binge watching?
Oh, man, I'm terrible with this. Like, I'll binge watch the first season, be real happy, go to the second season. And I'm like, I hate this. So right now I am binge watching, or I just finished binge watching. Oh, man, the superhero thing on Netflix, Black Lightning. First season was great. Second season, I'm trying to keep watching it, but I know my MO. So, yeah. That and The Office.
Okay, so Coach Dub, let's start. We're going to get into the way you made history, but you played in California. You're Cali. You went to play for California, UCLA. You didn't even have to go anywhere. They kept you right there in California. So we like to ask our guests, those of you who hoop, would you please tell us, give us a story about the first time you realized you were a problem. The first time you heard a coach or a player say, yo, who's man? Yo, double that. Look, move, just switch. When is the first time you heard it? Take us to that.
Wow. Being a problem, that's something that it happens over and over as you level up. So you could be a problem in kindergarten, but not a problem in fifth grade. So the first time I was really a problem was when I played in a co-ed league. I was 9 years old, played in a co-ed league. The only reason it was co-ed is because I was a girl. So I essentially played in an all-boys league, and this team had been winning the championship like regularly. We were the underdogs. I killed. These guys were crying after the game. Like I made them look bad. And it's funny because some of these guys are prominent figures right now. Some of them are actors. They will tell you to this day, like, yo, she had those two pigtails and she killed us. And they're not ashamed of it at all. So I knew at an early age that I was a problem. But my success in life was because I kept trying to be a problem on every level.
Coach, you went on to play at UCLA. From UCLA, you went to play for the Sparks. Mm-hmm. And there are many seasons when you played late into the season. You played well into the playoffs because you were on some very successful teams. You started your first 2 years with the LA Sparks. You ended your last 2 years with the New York Liberty. So, Coach, you had a career. Now, since this is Premier Hoops Weekly and we talk about overseas basketball, would you tell us how did that overseas play factor in to your season and pretty much your entire year as a professional athlete?
Man, the W season was significantly shorter, or at least felt significantly shorter versus the European season. So I played in Russia, Greece, Latvia, and Turkey, and at the time that I was in those countries, it was a great place to be playing basketball. Right now, I'm not for sure which are the premier countries, but when I was there, each one of those countries were premier basketball places for women, and it was tough. Like just the grind. I remember the Russian grind. Like we practiced. I mean, we practiced a lot and we practiced hard, which is very different from professional sports in America. Professional sports in America, you might have a tough training camp. You might go hard a little bit towards the beginning of the season, but then the new thing is load management. And I mean, you kind of get to cruise a little bit, but then go hard in the game. You get to save your body. There's no load management over there. There is just straight, we're grinding. They don't care about the WNBA season, just like the WNBA season doesn't care about the European season. We're the common denominator that cares about both. And so you have two different sides where overseas you're going super hard all the time. The W, not as hard during practice, but during the games, like you're playing against the best women in the world and only getting maybe 2-3 weeks off throughout the year. That's a lot on your body. That's a lot mentally. You miss a ton of holidays. It's tough. I'm a family-oriented person, and too many Thanksgivings have I called home, and I was missing out. Like, it was tough. Like, I swear it felt like I would call, and then my mom would answer the phone like, wait. Everybody, be quiet. Lisa's calling. And it's just like, so what did, like, way to make me feel like, I'm missing out on everything. And so that sucks, birthdays, watching your nieces, nephews grow up. That's tough. It's tough. So emotionally, mentally, physically, doing both takes a toll on you. That's not fun.
Okay. So Coach, now will you please explain to us? You have to share it with us. It has to come from you. How did you make history? November 2019.
So I became the first woman coach in the New York Knicks franchise. And so I'm with their affiliate team, the G League, but in the whole organization, I'm the first woman that they put on a bench to coach.
Wow. Now, Coach, oftentimes in careers, when we talk with career-oriented athletes, career-oriented entertainers, anyone who has just followed a career and they've just established a mark, you've established a mark. There's a phrase that goes, hey, it only took 10 years for me to become an overnight sensation. How does that apply to you?
It's amazing. It's almost like the way a bamboo grows. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it takes a bamboo 5 years to sprout to maybe 10 feet. But the first 4 years, I believe, you don't see anything. You don't see anything at all. And so other people on the outside could think that you're not growing. While all the while, your roots are growing deep, super deep, to be able to, withstand what you're about to walk into. And honestly, that's the grace of God just setting my roots deep. And so I don't think I've grown 10 feet tall yet, but I do believe that I'm starting to sprout. And that's just, people don't see the journey. They see what I post on social media, which is by design, but I mean, isn't it for everybody? That's by design. Yes. But there was a serious dark area where it's like you have to figure out, like, wait, well, am I growing? Mm-hmm. Like, I feel stuff breaking out and busting loose, but where's my opportunity? Mm-hmm. And so the last time we interviewed, I was in the assistant coaches program at Portsmouth literally a year ago. And because that was around April 7th or something. So we're 2 days shot. But I was in this program just trying to become a better coach. That's all. And I was going through a rigorous 72-hour boot camp. And again, like, if you insert some film, you could see I was going through it. Like, they are trying to kill me, but the NBA assistant coaches program really prepared me for just the opportunity and the exposure to become the first woman coaching within the Knicks organization.
Wow. So, Coach, you got through that. And I remember you talking about how difficult it was. Even after you were saying, I still have homework. And you're like, what do you mean you still? Like, you had a ton of work to do. Now, that says a lot about that player who made that transition to a coach. Coach, you have to tell us, You have to give us at least 2 qualities, because we know not everybody can make the transition from playing on the court to coaching.
Right.
What are at least 2 qualities that you have to have in order to do what you're doing right now?
The overarching quality is leadership skills. Now, that's very vague. It takes a lot to be a leader. But when you think about a leader first is going to be a person who is okay standing alone, because you have to lead yourself before others will even understand why you're worth following. But you have to believe in yourself. Like when we're talking about the bamboo, when it's dark underground and you can't see what's really working itself out, you have to know that look, this is a plan, this is a vision. The vision doesn't need to be able to be seen. It just needs to have sight. And so you have to know, like, I can do this. I will do this, and I'm not going to be stopped. And so I think it's the leader in me that allowed me to say, I got to pull myself up. Not saying I didn't get help from anybody else, but help from other people means nothing if I'm not willing to give myself a hand.
Yeah.
And so I think self-leadership, self-belief, perseverance. I've been tested, and so a lot of prayer. Like all of these things help me to be a good leader. And it's a blessing that in trying to lead myself in this situation, I was able to get a position with the Knicks.
But Coach, that's a lot of weight. How do you feel about carrying all of that weight? Because you have maybe, let's say, 1,000 young Black girls looking at you saying, wow, that's what can happen. Oh, so that's what we're doing now. That could be my future now. You can't, Coach, you can't mess up.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's not that you can't mess up, it's how you mess up. Mess up. Because one thing that I always try to preach to people is you can mess up. Even when I'm talking to my players about their performance, like there on the stat sheet, there's a whole column for missed shots. There's a whole column for turnovers. There's a whole column for fouls. That's assuming that you're going to mess up in the game. You know, and that's the same thing in life. It's about how you bounce back. And so, I work hard every day to make my family proud. I'm the baby. But I also do it so that little Black girls, Black women, white women, whoever feels like they're in a situation that they have their eyes set on something, but it might seem unlikely. I do it for them to say, well, you know what, she could do it, and I'm trying to be more vulnerable in the things that I share, because like I said, the things that we put on social media is what we want other people to know, but we don't always put how dark things got. But people need to know, okay, so when it got dark, how did you get out of that? Because I'm in a dark place right now, so yeah, I don't want to mess up, but I make sure if I do mess up, I can be resilient and hope it to be a learning lesson for me and those who are watching.
Wow. Okay, Coach Will, last couple of questions we have for you now. Number one, how often do you hear from young people who see, hey, are you the first female coach in New York Knicks franchise history? And what is your response to a young person?
So oddly enough, I don't hear it often, because this first year with the Knicks, I didn't. The only place I was at was the gym and at home. So it's work. If anybody thinks coaching is a cakewalk, assistant, it is not. There's always another game to be played, even if the next game isn't your responsibility. So yeah, in person, I didn't hear it a lot, but on social media, I got a lot of buzz, and I got a lot of people inboxing me just like, congratulations. You inspire me, you inspire my daughter. Like, this is so awesome. like keep rocking. So I've got nothing but love. But that was virtually in in a real space and time. Yeah, unless you saw me at the stoplight driving home or to the gym, yeah, it didn't happen.
Okay, Coach, will you please tell us this? How do the Knicks treat you? How do they treat you guys as the G League affiliate? How do they treat you guys overall?
Um, great, great. Like I've spoken to people, to coaches at other G League teams, and they're looking at me like I'm living in heaven. Like, and I mean, I knew my accommodations were nice. I knew they gave us a lot of perks, but I didn't know how good it was until I saw what, some other people were dealing with. But it's great. Like we have great housing, we have great food, we have a mental performance coach, we have top of the line. I mean, our facilities just got renovated, and this was the same practice facility when I played with the New York Liberty, and so the 10-year gap. They made some nice upgrades, and so it's just, I mean, it's top of the line from A to Z, and that shows the level of care that they have for us.
Wow. So, Coach, seriously, from the gym back home, and that's all you needed this break.
Yeah. Who are you, man? There are so many people stressing, and I'm just like, one, it's a blessing that I'm not stressing. But two, I don't know when the last time I had this kind of downtime was. I may have been like the summer before I started playing basketball. Like, this is just amazing. I'm out here in Reno with my sister and my 7-month-old niece. And just how I was telling you about playing overseas and living away from home, you miss a lot of things. And so, like, my sister and I, we FaceTime every day, but that doesn't compare to the conversations that we're having here. Or, she's teaching me how to cook. I'm trying to add something to my belt. So it's just different things. Like, this is amazing. This is amazing.
It's good to hear, Coach. We appreciate it. We really do appreciate your time. Okay, let's say this is it. You have to strap up because somebody didn't show up for practice. You got to strap up. You got to go in and get in there to scrimmage. You hit the last shot. Boom, game's over. Do you point to the name in front of the jersey, Coach, or do you point to the name in the back of the jersey?
Lisa Willis today in 2020 will point to the name in back.
Okay.
And I would hit my whole LeBron. Lisa Willis, when she was actually a hooper in her prime, she would walk off the court and not say a word. Yeah.
Go with it.
Because my whole thing was, you guys are celebrating these shots like you haven't done it before. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I do. Like, you don't wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, and celebrate. No. So when I get buckets, I'm not going to celebrate. This is what I do. But today, I love being cocky today. These days I love it. But as a player, I was totally humble.
Coach, we really appreciate it. Again, this is Premier Hoops Weekly. I'm Dr. Shabazz, and we were joined today, blessed with having Coach Lisa Willis, the first female coach ever in New York Knicks history as a franchise to play a role on the bench. Coach Willis, a.k.a. Coach Dub, a.k.a. Coach Will, a.k.a. Coach Ill Will, we really appreciate your time. And thank you so much for joining us. And here's to enjoying the first rest you've had in quite a long time.
Thank you.
Everyone else, we'll see you on the next show.